Hey, Adventure Alan here, and I am super excited to introduce you to this new JetBoil stove, the Stash. And the great thing about the Stash is it's incredibly light. It is half the weight of another JetBoil stove. So this compact stove kit that I have right here is just a little over 7 ounces. And most of the other JetBoil stoves are 13 ounces to 14 hours, but it has that same great performance and features that everybody loves about JetBoil stoves. It just doesn't weigh down your pack, and we're just really excited. So with that, we're going to take a deeper dive into what's great about this stove and show you how it performs and some of the new great features for it. Okay, so let's unpack this new JetBoil Stash stove. And as the name implies, Stash, it's very compact and stuff stores very neatly inside the stove. So it has this nice folding handle. And then as you can see with this nice lid, which has a pour hole in it, the canister actually locks into the lid, which keeps it in exactly the right position, and it keeps it from rattling around. And if I pull it off from the canister, you see it holds a small lighter or igniter for the stove there, which is nice. There's also a small hole in the middle for the the French press attachment, which I will show you. And then neatly stored in the stove here is the new lightweight burner, super small, compact, and lightweight. And then there's also a stability stand for the canister, which supports the stove. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly assemble this. So one of the things you'll notice about this stove is that it's got a more universal pot holder. So it doesn't interlock with the bottom of the pot. So you could use it with any generic pot. You can use it with this pot, but you could use it with a frying pan, which we may show you how to do. But we'll go ahead and pop the canister. And this is just, but one of the things that I really like about this stove, it comes with this nice pot stand, which by the way is not included in the weight because you don't actually need it, but it's a nice convenience. But again, this pot sort of locks into the stand. It's not as hard to knock off. So that's pretty super stable and compact, and it's pretty easy to assemble. So the next thing I'm going to do is to show you the stove in action. We are going to take a closer look at this stove, and we're going to look at where that weight savings come from, and then we are going to see this stove in action. So first of all, where does that weight savings come from? Well, the first thing is it's got a new titanium burner, and they took off the pressure regulator, and they took off the igniter, so it is a very stripped down, very light burner, but it does retain all the JetBoil performance. So the same fuel efficiency and fast boil times that you've come to associate with JetBoil are still there. It's just lighter. And then the other place that you lose a lot of weight, I think this is 2.8 ounces lighter than the old JetBoil burner or stove. And then this pot is 2.3 ounces lighter. And where you lose most of that weight savings is it's not an insulated pot. It's just the aluminum out here. And it's also a slightly smaller pot. So they went down from a 1 liter pot to a 0.8 liter. It is the diameter of the Minimo. We'll show you that because it fits the Minimo French press attachment. We find that's a good size actually for a pot. It'll make coffee for 2 people. It'll cook a meal for 2 people. It's the size that Allison and I use, so that's fine. And finally, there's a 1.7 ounce saving because there's no plastic cup thingy on the bottom of the pot. So that old plastic cup thingy that's on most of the JetBoil pots is gone. And finally, just to be clear, This pot stand weighs 7/10 of an ounce. We like it, but that's not included in the stove weight. And actually you don't really need it. I mean, this is pretty stable even if I didn't have the pot protector on it. But we're gonna go ahead now and we are gonna make a incredibly delicious sort of coffee shop quality cup of coffee. So we're gonna use this French press attachment. It's the same one that fits in the Minimo. We're gonna use that. And we are going to use some really amazing Dumerso Yirgacheffe coffee that I pre-ground yesterday, and it's going to go in the pot here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and spark this pot off, and we'll get it up to a boil. Not very hard to light. And I'm actually going to flip this around. One of the nice things about these pots is there are measurements on them. So I'm going to put 600 ml into this pot and get things rolling. So there we go. We'll come back when that's boiling and we'll go ahead and make the coffee. Okay, we just came to a boil here, and again with that same fast JetBoil efficiency and performance. And now we're going to use one of my favorite features about any JetBoil stove, but it works with the new step JetBoil Stash here, and that is the JetBoil French press attachment. And you may not have noticed, but there is a small hole in the JetBoil lid that exactly accepts the press rod for this French press. So I'm going to put that aside. I am got this delicious Dumerso Yirgacheffe coffee in a scent-proof bag that I ground yesterday. That's ready to go. And I'm going to pour that into the pot here. And then I'm going to very carefully stir that in. And again, this is for two, large cups of coffee, so the capacity for this is right. Okay, that's nice and stirred in there. And you'll see that this lid, I'm actually going to take it off the stove right there. You'll see that this exactly fits inside the pot here. And can somebody give me 4 minutes? And in 4 minutes, we are going to have an amazing cup of French press coffee with actually very little grounds in this JetBoil stove. It's actually a really nice incarnation of the French press, but again, it's half the weight of any previous JetBoil stove. Okay, so we've waited 4 minutes. I'm just simply going to press down on this press pot here, this French press attachment, go all the way down there, and we now have delicious Dumerso Yirgacheffe coffee. This is a nice pour spout on it, so I'm going to go ahead and pour the coffee here. Get a nice beautiful pour there, and you can see that this is going to make plenty of coffee for 2 people. 2 nice sized cups of coffee here. I'm actually going to put a little more coffee in my cup here, but it pours really nicely, and 2 nice big cups of coffee. So pot's a nice size, and really looking forward to tasting this delicious coffee. So yeah, and there we go, a delicious French roast coffee. Tastes amazing. Okay, so let's wrap this video up. First of all, this is JetBoil's new stove. It is the JetBoil Stash. We are super excited about it. Again, it is half the weight of any other JetBoil stove. So this is a little over 7 ounces versus the other JetBoil stoves, which are 13 to 14 ounces. This really closes the gap with ultralight alcohol backpacking stoves. And we really see this as attracting a lot of those ultralight alcohol stove users to using a canister stove like this, which is super fast, easy to use, and fuel efficient. Let's go over what we like about it. Obviously, it's super light and compact. It's more compact than the other JetBoil stoves. It's half the weight. Again, it has the same speed and efficiency that you know about JetBoil stoves. So you're not giving up anything there for the reduced weight. It's this form factor we like. It's the same form factor as the Minimo. This wider form factor is both easier to cook in and it's way easier to clean. We like the universal pot pan compatibility of this new burner. I can put any pot or pan on it. It may not have the flux ring like this pot, but it'll easily work. We like how it interlocks. There's this interlocking feature, so it's really hard to knock the pot off. That's a great feature. And again, of course, we like the super, as you saw earlier in the video, we like the super well organized compact storage with the canister locking into the lid to the right position to put everything easily in there. We obviously like this nice folding handle. That's a nice feature. And it works with the Minimo French press attachment, which we're big fans of. Oh my God, that's great coffee. Anyway, so there are no free lunches in the world. So there are some things that JetBoil did to save some weight on this stove. First of all, on the burner here, you'll see there's no igniter on it. We just use a Bic lighter, no big deal. But there's also no regulator, so we would expect to see a little bit of an impact in cold weather performance. But again, it's below freezing. We've made 3 French presses of coffee this morning, and it really wasn't an issue. The pot is not quite as firmly as attached, even though it's got this nice interlock. It isn't that twist lock like it's never going anywhere of the old JetBoil stoves. And there was this sort of shroud that came down from the pots from the other stoves, and a little ring that came up from the burner, that sort of interlocking thing that created a windscreen, a little wind protected area for the burner. And my guess is that this is going to be a little less wind resistant than the previous JetBoil stoves. We'll have to do some detailed testing under some more controlled conditions. But again, we're having no issues here. Obviously, this is a 0.8 liter pot versus the 1 liter, which is the capacity of larger JetBoil pots. We still think that's a fine capacity for 2 people. We can obviously make 2 cups of coffee in there. You can easily cook a 2-person meal in the pot. So 0.8 liters is really a fine capacity. And finally, and we probably almost consider this a plus, the old JetBoil came with that sort of plastic bowl cup thingy that attached to the bottom of the stove. We kind of thought that was a downside. Maybe some people like it. I mean, JetBoil included it, but we're not missing it. So anyway, that kind of sums things up. Again, we're just super excited about this half the weight ultralight version of the JetBoil stove. We think it's going to turn a lot of heads in the ultralight hiking and backpacking community. A lot of people that might have used an alcohol stove will start using a very light, ultralight fuel efficient stove like this JetBoil Stash. Anyway, if you like this video, please go ahead and like it on my YouTube channel. Please go ahead and follow my YouTube channel. Go ahead and click that bell so you get notified of all our great new content that's coming up. We're always putting out new videos. And again, thanks for watching. And this is Adventure Alan signing out.